Welcome back. It is Manchester United versus Chelsea, or should I say Chelsea versus Manchester United, because we are going to Stamford Bridge. That was one place that was a fortress before, but right now everybody goes there to eat. Everybody goes there to feast. Everybody and their grandmama goes there to get something out of the game, and I believe Manchester United can go there to get something out of the game. But today we are going to be giving you guys the preview. We are going to be talking about what we see in the game, what the game could actually be like, and how we are going to break down, because we are going to be talking about the form of the team. We are going to break down who are the key players. We are going to talk about my predicted lineup, and of course we are going to be talking about my prediction for the game, as Manchester United are looking for getting that assurance that we are going to play in the Champions League, and of course Chelsea looking to bounce back from what feels like a devastating time for the Blues. It's definitely something that you need to sit down and relax. But before you do that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, and give me your prediction down in the comments as we break down this video and break down the preview of Chelsea versus Manchester United. Of course, this is going to be a big one. This is always a big game. Manchester United, of course, have not done very well at Stamford Bridge, but this is going to be a different one, I hope. Let's get into this. Now, this isn't just a game versus Manchester United. This isn't just a game versus Chelsea. These are two broken, walking in the same fate giants. You understand? Manchester United, even though we have been doing better over the past few months, it's still a sleeping giant, because we are not in a position where we should be. We are always meant to be in a position where we are challenging for the trophy, challenging in top two for the trophy. Of course, there's this famous saying that if you do not win it, you have lost it. That is definitely the thing that Manchester United are doing. And of course, Chelsea also has those standards. Under Abramovich, the guy that we all know, and it's a little debatable whether they love him or not, Chelsea was, you win the Premier League or you get fired. That was the rule at Chelsea when it comes to the managers. So these are two broken giants in this situation. One are collapsing under the pressure with Enzo Fernández, and the other are barely holding it together themselves, which is Manchester United in my opinion. And then you see Chelsea are in the worst spiral in years. This has been the worst time in Chelsea's storied history. It is one of the worst times in Chelsea's storied history. But there is a twist. Manchester United might just be even more vulnerable at this point, because we have a crisis in the centre-back position. Our midfield is having a lot of problems because Kobe Mainoo had a knock before the games against Leeds, and I'm not sure he's going to play. And we cannot afford to have the same style of playing that we had against Leeds with Chelsea, because they will punish us. So let's start with the Chelsea. Let's start with this collapse that we have seen for Chelsea for right now. Chelsea aren't just losing games. They have lost their identity. The robust nature of Chelsea and what we have watched over the years is no more. 4 straight Premier League losses is devastating. Something that they haven't done once this century. Sorry, they have done it once this century, and that was under Frank Lampard in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Back-to-back defeats of 3+ goals. This is the first time they have done this since 2018. You get, and now losing consecutive home games again. Stamford Bridge is no longer the fortress that we know. It's no longer the fortress that we understood when John Terry and Carvalho was in that centre-back pairing. It's no longer that. And that is the difficult part about this situation. You understand? It's not just a bad run, it's a collapse of its own. You understand? They don't control games. They survive them. And lately, they are not even surviving anymore. They are just straight up losing to their teams. And now, of course, in this situation, you have to also think about their captain or assistant captain, and Enzo Fernández is back. He's back from the suspension of him just saying he wants to leave, of flirting with Real Madrid and flirting with everybody that could see him flirt in terms of leaving Chelsea. And then they gave him the 2-game ban. He lost the game against Port Vale, which they won 7-1, I believe. and then lost the game against Manchester City, which they lost 3-0, I believe also. You understand? It's not a quiet situation, but he is back. And of course, I believe he's going to go straight into the starting lineup because he is that talented of a player and he is better than what they have on the bench. His public flirting with Real Madrid was definitely what created the noise, and the midfield leader is mentally drifting. That is honestly something that we know. Now, the key part about this situation for Chelsea is that João Pedro has definitely been one of the people that have had a really good season since the Liam Rosinho came in. In terms of the whole season has been good for João Pedro. You understand? It has been good for João Pedro. But the truth about it is that this game is totally different. This game is a difficult situation for both parties. This game is going to be... Form goes out the window when you're looking at games like this. You understand? When you're looking at the rivalry between Chelsea and Manchester United, form goes out of the window. You get me? Because Chelsea and Manchester United have had storied performances before. But what we usually see is majority of either United winning or it being a draw. Now, Chelsea also has one game under when it comes to the head-to-head battles, because Chelsea has won 13 times, we have drawn 14 times, and Manchester United have won 15 times. That has been the story of Manchester United versus Chelsea for this long. So it is very fairly to say that Man United would either win this 1-0 or Chelsea would win this 1-0, or it would be a 0-0 draw. But right now, the way the two teams are playing, there is no way I believe that this is going to be a 0-0 draw. I think both teams are going to try to get back on track for them to be somewhere closer to getting a Champions League place. And that is why I believe this is going to be the highest scoring Man United versus Chelsea match that we have seen in a long time. But you guys, let me know what you guys think about that situation. Now, let's get to Manchester United. This is where things get really dangerous for me. It gets really dangerous because Manchester United look stable. They look stable, but it feels like an illusion. It feels like one drop of a step, one drop of a water on our heads would make us stumble and absolutely fall down the drain. That is what it looks like, and it's so difficult to say this right now because we lost to Newcastle. We lost to Newcastle, and that was devastating. We drew to Bournemouth, and it felt really weird. And we obviously lost to Leeds, which absolutely annoyed the life out of me. But now Manchester United are facing Chelsea. We have an opportunity to go up and to get more space between Aston Villa and Chelsea and Liverpool. Because right now, Liverpool are on 52 points, Chelsea are on 48 points. We are on 55 points, directly the same points to Aston Villa. We cannot allow these people get back into it. We just cannot. It will be a devastating front if Manchester United allow these people get close, because it is so close right now that we can fall from literally third all the way to sixth. That is going to be a problem. We need to be careful about how we do it. You understand? Manchester United started strong under Michael Carrick. 6 wins in 7. Brilliant. But now, just 1 win in their last 4. We just have 1 win in our last 4. And that is where the difficulty lays. Because nobody is putting it in context for you guys. Nobody's putting it in context the way we will put it in context here on Pillar Sports. 1 win in our last 4, 2 wins in our last 5. We have gotten 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. And that is not a good record to have. It's a 50 record, or it may be less than 50-50 in this situation. It's a problem, you get me? It's a problem, and we need to bounce back from it. We need to bounce back. That bounce that Michael Carrick brought into the team is already fading. We need to understand that. The big bounce, the managerial bounce is fading. And defensively, it's chaos. Because yes, we have lost Harry Maguire. Matthias de Ligt is nowhere to be found. We need to literally release an APB out for Matthias de Ligt because we do not know, and I don't know what is going on with his back because it's a problem. We have lost Lisandro Martinez now to what feels like a very soft red card against Leeds. And of course, Harry Maguire gets the extra ban for telling... I don't understand why they give him a ban in the game against Bournemouth. They give him an extra day or an extra game ban after getting what feels like a soft red card. It's a difficult situation. You understand? It's a difficult situation. But now, what Manchester United are going into this game with will be two teenagers. It will be two teenagers. It's going to be Lenny Euro and Aiden Heaven. And those two guys combined, their age is at 39 years of age. 39 years of age. That's the combined age of the two players that are going to be defending for Manchester United against Chelsea. And that right there is difficult because are your only available centre-backs teenagers that lack experience, that do not have the ability to control the defense by themselves, that are literally looking for the experienced players to tell them where to stand, to tell them where to play, and to tell them how to cover. You understand? This is not rotation. This is right here is desperation. At some point, I was thinking, is there any way we can actually get Johnny Evans to strap up? That's what I was thinking, but I don't think that's possible because he has retired from football. He's a manager now, or he's a coach now, and that's it. This team is managing injuries and suspensions, and it's difficult for me to say it, but that is what we are doing. That is the thing that we are dealing with right now. We are held together by circumstances. It's a tough goal. We are very vulnerable right now, but in that vulnerability, we have Bruno Fernandes. He's still here. He's still constant. And yet, Bruno Fernandes is still going to perform because Bruno Fernandes is 3 more assists away from catching the all-time Premier League assist record of 20 assists in one season. This is not just form. This right here is going to be history, and I believe he is going to get it. The real question is Bruno Fernandes creating brilliance, or he's just masking the dysfunction that we are dealing with right now? But I believe Bruno Fernandes might just be cooking something because our front line is good enough to get us into the Champions League. But I don't think our midfield is good enough to keep us in the race for it. So we need to absolutely find a way, find a medium point, find a situation where Manchester United can actually go and claim this Champions League position without going into the end of the season and then having to play when players are thinking about the World Cup. We need to be careful about that because United have 5 different players with 7+ goals right now, more than any top 5 rival. We have 5 different players in 7+ goals. We are looking at Benjamin Šeško, I believe. I think Mateus Cunha, I think Brian Mbeumo, I think Casemiro, and then Bruno Fernandes. 5 different players that are on 7+ goals this season. And that sounds like balance to me. That sounds like brilliance to me. That sounds like the team just needs to catch up to our attacking lineup for us to be contending for titles, for us to be competing with the likes of Bayern Munich next season. But this might be a true lack of a true killer. To be honest with you, if we are sharing the goals like that, the truth about it is when you look at Bayern Munich, you see Harry Kane with this season, 52 goals. You see Diaz with 20 goals, 23 goals. And you see, what's his name? Michael Olise with 20 goals. You know who the true killer is. You know who the true go-getter is. But the guys also contribute because they are that talented. And that's why Bayern has highest probability of getting the Champions League. And of course, Bayern are going to win the Bundesliga. You understand? That's what we need to be striving for. That's what we need to be getting. And that is what we need to be pushing for going to the end of the season. Now, what is this game going to be like? This game isn't about quality. You understand? This game isn't about quality because these teams are not the best teams when it comes to Manchester United versus Chelsea. It's about who collapses first, to be honest with you. It's about who blinks first. Chelsea have broken confidence, they have fragile defense, and they have internal distractions. While Manchester United have a defensive crisis on the horizon, not on the horizon, it's here already. We have form that is dropping, and we have over-reliance on Bruno Fernandes. But both teams are unstable. We all know that. But instability doesn't cancel out. It just multiplies. That's the key part about it. It's not like, oh, your instability cancels out my instability. No. And then we provide quality. No. What we see is that the game is going to be absolute rubbish. It's going to be people playing and losing the ball here and losing the ball there and losing the ball here. It's all going to fall down to who has more quality to put the game away from the other person. It's going to fall down. Do you have a Bruno on your team? They have Cole Palmer, but Cole Palmer has not been the Cole Palmer that we saw 2 years ago. Do you have a Cunha on your team? They have Pedro Neto. Do you have a Bremo on your team? They have Garnacho. That is what we are looking at right now. And it's all about who is going to show their quality first. You understand? So who decides this? Not tactics, not systems. It's all about moments. If Chelsea concede first, the heads will drop. If United, young defense cracks early, it could get really ugly. That's for sure. But the edge in chaos, you trust a player who can create something from nothing. And right now, Bruno Fernandes is that player. So let's go for a fact. Manchester United is going to edge this. But let's not be surprised if it thrusts us into pure chaos. I believe Manchester United are going to win this game, and we are going to win it 2-0. It's going to be a difficult one, but I believe Manchester United are going to win it 2-0. Let me know what your predictions are. And on my starting 11 in this situation, right? My predicted starting 11 for Manchester United in this situation will be, of course, San Elements in goal. We are going to have, I don't know why Diego Dalot did not start, but I believe Dalot is going to start in this one. I'm going to have Lenny Yoro, and after Lenny Yoro is going to be Aiden Heaven, like I mentioned. It's then going to have Luke Shaw in this particular left back in this game. And in the midfield, hopefully Kobe Menu is back, but if he's not back, it's going to be Garte, Casemiro, and Bruno Fernandes. And this is where things will get a little bit testy, because I believe Ahmad will go to the bench, Mbeumo is going to come in, Mateus Cunha would be there, and then you have Benjamin Šeško up top. That is going to be my starting 11 for Manchester United. But you guys, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. But the real question we need to answer, the real question is, which of these teams is actually closer to fixing their problems? Let me know in the comments, because the game might tell us more about the future than the result itself. So let me know, guys, what you guys think in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.